right, hello wine drinking people. Well, we got a few events coming up this week. We've got our cooking class at Cafe Max Thursday night. That's tomorrow night. We've got our vintage Madeira tasting on Friday night. We got still have a few seats left for that. And then we've got our big champagne tasting on Saturday night. And we may have a little room for that. I don't know. We're gonna just get into our new space here for the first time with one of our events, and we'll have some stations set up outside in the grotto as long as the weather permits, and then some stuff in the store, about 70 different champagnes. And then we've got our good friend Filippo Chia from Castello Romatorio here next Tuesday. All right, but what have I got to sell you today? All right, well today, there's a lot of hoopla out there about how Bordeaux is so expensive. Well, the great wines of Bordeaux are so expensive, they're out of the reach of the common person. But, for those Bordeaux aficionados in the know, you can still get great classified gross for around $50 a bottle, like this Domaine de Chevalier 2003 from a great vintage. Well, from a vintage that was highly regarded and highly rated by the press anyways. 2003 was a little hot, the wine's a little forward. Some people may be a little critical of these wines' ability to age, but hey, this is a wine that's drinking beautiful today. No need to age this. All right, well, another thing that most people don't see in this country are the second wines of these great growths. A lot of these wines get gobbled up in France by the restaurants, the local restaurants, and the top-level restaurants in Paris. These are great wines to drink upon release. And in great vintages like 2000, there is no better value in all of Bordeaux than the second wine from a great property like Domaine de Chevalier. This is GREAT de Chevalier we have had up here as the subject of what I've got to sell you today before, and there's just a few cases of this wine left at the distributor. We have gobbled them up, and this wine is drinking beautifully right now. A classic Bordeaux, has that lovely cedary, tobacco-y notes, lovely minerality, red currant berry fruit, and like I said, drinking beautifully at its peak. And it should be plateauing there, these great vintages of great wines. Usually when they start to drink at their peak, they'll plateau there for a couple of years. You could still hold on to this for a little bit longer. Hey, the 2003 first wine, the Domaine de Chevalier, this wine has got some gorgeous red currant and red plum fruit. Very similar to what you find in California Cabernet, this California-esque vintage 2003. And we've got their white wine, and the white wine from this property, one of the greatest white wines made in Bordeaux, in the province of Pessac-Léognan, and this is an area just south of Graves. Graves is the closest wine region to the city of Bordeaux, and because of the huge urban expansion, even though this area is quite large, not quite as much area dedicated to vine because a lot of houses have moved in here. But some great stuff. The white wines, I remember tasting these wines for the first time at the Great Wine Seminar, where we tasted over 20 vintages, 20 years worth of the white wines of Domaine de Chevalier. And I remember looking at the table, and I could not believe the color on these wines was almost identical. And the owner, Olivier Bernard, was there. What a nice man, and a beautiful property. I visited it several times. That's what we've got to sell you today, folks. Domaine de Chevalier and Spirit de Chevalier 2000 vintage. Check it out on today's email. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.